What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our monthly market update. Today we're going to be taking a look at the statistics from February 2024, and we're going to dive in and see what's been happening as we've come out of winter, entered the new year, and try to predict where things are going to go as we head into spring. We've seen home prices drop off significantly throughout the winter, but that's typically what we expect over the holidays. So let's see if that trend is continuing or if we're going to see home prices rebound in March 2024. The average sale price in Tulare County in February was $387,540. That was a huge rebound from around $358 or so here. You can see we've kind of bounced around, steadily gone down since about the middle of 2023. But we saw a nice rebound here as we start to enter the spring. And if you look year after year, as we get into spring, things tend to start rising, right? So I expect this to continue into summer. I think we're going to rebound. We're going to get back up to all-time highs before summertime. And, obviously based on seasonal trends, it's going to start to level off again after that. But I expect home prices and activity to pick up, and we should have an exciting year here in 2024. If you look at the last 3 years, a year ago, we had 332,134. 2 years ago, 376,394. And 3 years ago, 315,246. And if you look here, it's like we saw a significant increase. It fell back down, it increased again, but overall we're still trending up, right? 376 to 387, still trending up over time. If you look at the stock market, this is very common. You don't see things just shoot straight up or straight down. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Sometimes they sit for a while before they break up or down, but this is very typical for how markets run. Price per square foot in February was $224. Again, all-time high last June was $230. So we're rebounding right back that way. And again, I think by summertime, we're going to be back up at all-time highs, if not creating new all-time highs in price per square foot and average sale price. New listings in Tulare County, we had 247. If you look at the last 3 years, 257 a year ago, 331 2 years ago, and 293 3 years ago. New listings have been significantly lower than what we've needed since about midway through 2023. It's just absolutely fallen off. We did see a little bit of a rebound in January, but we dropped back down a little bit in February. Again, I expect this to pick up. Spring and summer is when a lot of people put their homes on the market. So I expect this to get a lot busier, but right now we really need inventory, guys. Inventory is as low as it's ever been in Tulare County. We don't have a lot of homes to sell, and there's plenty of buyers out there to pick them up. So if you're thinking about listing or selling within the next year or two, this is a fantastic time because inventory is low. When that inventory starts to rebound again and we get back up to 4, 5, 6 months of inventory, home prices aren't going to be jumping the way that they are now. They're going to start stabilizing. Homes for sale. We've currently got 439 homes for sale in Tulare County. Again, if you compare to previous years, we're kind of where we typically are at this time of year. It's usually pretty low coming out of the holidays, and especially during the pandemic years. Buyer activity was so high that it didn't matter how many homes we put on the market. The buyers were eating them up during the pandemic. So as buyer activity slowed down a little bit, we started to see the homes for sale rise, but it's just been falling back down again since about mid-2022. The number of pending sales in February was 243. If we compare that to the last few years, we had 222 a year ago, 264 2 years ago, and 281 pending sales 3 years ago. It's been pretty much what you would expect, I suppose, a little bit lower than we'd like to see. But again, the COVID years were a little bit special in a way. That was a weird time. That was not the status quo. I think this is probably more what you would expect in a normal market. That said, we are starting to see it rebound over the last 2 months. So seeing pending sales start to rebound is a big plus in my opinion. That shows the buyer activity is there, and that we're going to need to get more listings on the market or else we are going to run out. The number of closed sales in February fell off again though, which is weird because as you see pending sales start to go up, you would expect closed sales to follow, right? But we've been dropping in closed sales the last 2 months. There's 2 reasons for this. Number one, things are probably getting extended a little bit. So we didn't have as many closed as were pending, probably set to close in February. It's a shorter month. So some things might have got extended, but cancellations are also way up right now. There's been a lot more cancellations toward the end of 2023 and heading into 2024 than we've seen in the previous few years. So cancellations are on the rise. And to be honest, Americans are feeling the crunch as far as money goes. You know, the dollar isn't going as far as it used to go. And I think some people who have been looking for a house for a long time, they get into contract and they start looking at the numbers again. They realize it might not be as feasible as they think now with all the inflation that's gone on over the last year or two. So if you're in the market, make sure you're running your numbers regularly. Take a look at your budget and make sure that you can afford the home payment that you're looking to take on, and give yourself a little bit of room. Give yourself a buffer, because as we know, inflation is expected to continue to rise, and the dollar is probably going to continue to be worth less and less as years go on. The number of closed sales over the last 3 years, we had 161 in February, 178 last year, 271 2 years ago, and 276 3 years ago. So you can see a significant drop off in closed sales. That's overall buyer activity. But again, these were especially high months. This isn't the status quo. This is probably more like the status quo. So I wouldn't really be alarmed by this, but we definitely want to see closed sales start to rebound as we go into March. Days on market. So we're currently 21 days on market here in February, and you can see that's been climbing throughout 2023, but fell back down as buyer activity has picked up here in February as we head into spring. And again, this is what we would expect. Throughout the pandemic, days on market was extremely low because buyers were eating up any property that hit the market. Nothing was sitting really, you know what I mean? And we kind of, at the end of 2022 into 2023, things slowed down on the buyer side as they started raising rates. We started to see inventory start to rebound. But as people have adjusted to the changing rates and rates have started to stabilize, we're right back to where we were. Buyer activity is up, and the number of homes on the market is down, and the days on market is down as homes are selling quicker. Months of inventory. Now, as we've talked about, inventory is extremely low. We don't have enough homes on the market, and so let's take a look at that. Right now, we have 1.9 months of inventory on the market in February. If you look at the pandemic years, it was even lower than that, extremely low, between 1 and 1.5 months of inventory. Again, you really couldn't get a house that you wanted at that point in time. Something would come on the market and there would be 10, 15, 20 offers on it. And it was incredibly hard to lock something down. As we headed into 2022 and even into 2023, that months of inventory started to rise. We saw more inventory on the market as buyer activity started to slip. And again, when you're looking at months of inventory, it's not only taking into account the number of homes on the market, it's also taking into account the pending and closed sales. So it takes buyer activity, measures that against seller activity, and we get months of inventory. So buyer activity fell off, the number of homes on the market rose, and we've slowly seen that kind of ride around. And then toward the end of 2023, we're seeing months of inventory start to dive again as rates have stabilized and buyers are getting back in the market. So 1.9 months of inventory. The typical seller's market, buyer's market cutoff, like the middle ground of that scale, is about 5-6 months. So more than 5-6 months of inventory would be a buyer's market, where the buyers have the majority of the negotiating power, and less than 5 months of inventory typically is a seller's market, where the sellers have most of the negotiating power. So we can see we are clearly in a seller's market, and even with rates where they are, even with buyer activity where it is, so you can see we are clearly in a seller's market. And I think if you're considering selling, this is a fantastic time to do it. In summary, average sale price rebounded in February to $387,540. This is exactly what we expected as we roll into spring, and it's likely to continue into summer. Price per square foot jumped in February to $224 per square foot, not far off of the all-time highs at $230 per square foot in June of 2023. New listings rebounded with 247 new Tulare County properties hitting the market in February, even fewer than we saw in January. This is important to note because as we're seeing buyer activity start to pick up again, we need to see the new listings hit the market. Pending sales are on the rise while closed sales dropped again in February. Now we should start to see the closed sales rebound in March, though cancellations have been an issue as well. Total inventory remains at 1.9 months of inventory in February. And this continues to be the biggest concern in the real estate market as we roll into 2024. We really need more inventory in order to support the number of buyers that are going to be entering the market in spring and summer. So sellers, let's get cleaning, let's get packing, let's get those homes on the market. If you're looking to move into something else, if you're looking to move out of the area, upsize, downsize, this is a fantastic time to make that move. So give me a call. I'd be happy to talk with you about your needs, your timelines. We can talk about strategy as far as what to do before listing your house. If you have any thoughts of selling within the next 2 years, let's talk soon and start building that strategy. My name is David Haun. Thank you again for watching our monthly market report, and I'll see you next time.
Are you having a hard time selling your property or just stressed for time to do it? Won't you contact David Haun at www.meetdavidhaun.com. With 100 plus happy clients, closed deals over 4 years in the business, MBA in digital marketing, and 5-star Google and great client experience. With the skills to compete with anyone in any presentation exposure, beautiful photography, aerials, 4K videos, interactive virtual tours, and even neighborhood spotlights, they'll be used to present property. With professional cleaning on every listing paid by David Haun. Our marketing is very focused on online experience. David provides a Matterport virtual walkthrough on each listing. With the number of buyers we are seeing from the metro areas of California, it's a huge benefit for them to be able to see the house in much detail. Everything is placed on a landing page. That's the hub of all the social media posts, paid ads, circle calls, emails, and text codes that's on the side, which enables David to help you capture leads without any contact. With paid social media ads, David Haun can target anyone who has been on Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com within the last 90 days. With everything I can provide, be assured that 10,000 plus active local buyers see your property within the first week. Don't believe me? Check out my testimonies at www.reviewdavidhaun.com.